So the announcement's out. The SEC is now postponing the decision for the Bitcoin ETF that everyone was looking forward to, everyone was excited about. They're going to delay that by another 45 days and settle that in late September. And the market reacted accordingly. It sent itself all the way into the reds. In this video, we're going to discuss a little bit about this ETF and why we actually don't need it. That's the stupid part, is that honestly, we don't really need it. It'll be nice, but we don't. And I'll have some final thoughts on this issue as well. I like to say before we start, of course, everything covered here is my personal opinion, not financial advice. And if you found this video helpful, do hit up the like button. It'll help this channel a lot. So let's talk about why everyone was so excited for the Bitcoin ETF. And the analogy here is it's like an altcoin getting listed on Binance. It's gonna bring other investors that are on traditional exchanges, stock exchanges, equity commodity exchanges. They can come into cryptocurrencies because there's an easy way to buy it. The fact is that an ETF allows much greater access, a greater audience to this whole world of cryptocurrencies. And with supply and demand, because the supply is the same, more potential demand means the prices could potentially go up. In fact, there was a great video by Data Dash explaining this, and he drew the analogy with ETFs and gold ETFs. So after gold ETFs were introduced, the price of gold very quickly 5x'd. That was kind of crazy, because just think about it. For gold, it's very hard for an average trader who's trading stocks or trading other commodities to really hold gold, to trade gold, because if they buy gold, they have to keep it at home. That's really inconvenient. By having an ETF, this means they can buy into an exchange traded fund, and they can just trade papers designating gold. It holds gold value, but it's not gold. So with that analogy, the same could potentially be applied to Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself has been viewed to be hard to store because, well, you have to learn about public-private keys. You have to learn how to secure away from hackers. You have to learn quite a lot about this whole blockchain and how it works to use it properly. This is really the key word here, is to use it properly, because it's very easy to just install a wallet and use it, but the fact is that you can potentially lose it. So the view here is that by having an ETF, this allows the dummies or people who don't know anything about cryptocurrencies to come in and increase that potential demand for cryptocurrencies. Now, this sounds fine and dandy, but if you really think about it, this is just a short stop in the long road to adoption. In fact, recently, I kind of drew back into myself and just started researching a lot more about this whole point of having cryptocurrencies. The core reason, and one of the best debates I saw was between Eric Voorhees and Peter Schiff. But it was a really good debate because it talked about, why the US dollar is not good money. Why it's not linked to any commodities, like, for example, attached to gold anymore, and that eventually something's going to screw up. And this is something that we don't realize all the time. This is something that we take for granted. We think that the currencies that we own right now, that's going to be safe. But traditionally, historically, that has never been the case. Fiat currencies never lasted very long. So with that in mind, it's great to kind of revisit this whole idea of what makes a currency currency. And also, of course, the debate was very important for me personally, because I felt like we need to respond to the criticism of cryptocurrencies and what we're in right now as well. Because one of the aspects pointed out is that cryptocurrencies right now, its current state, is all about speculation. People coming in hoping that it will increase in value and then dumping it on the next unsuspecting buyer. That's the accusation that Bitcoin is a pyramid scheme. And in many ways, the ETF was a way for us to potentially dump it on someone else, right? I mean, having more people having demand for it elsewhere, that's a great way for us to just dump some of that crypto. But at the end of the day, the core issue here that was highlighted is that Bitcoin itself has tremendous value because of the fact that it is decentralized. It allows this one-to-one transfer of value that's borderless, that's unstoppable. These are key aspects of what makes good money. And honestly, that really made me think that this ETF isn't really that important for the grand scale. Because at the end of the day, it's important to learn about Bitcoin. If we have more traders coming in and they don't know anything about crypto or Bitcoin or the value it stands for and why it's valuable, then we're just going to fuel an even bigger speculation bubble. It's going to be a point where it is going to be a pyramid scheme because people don't know what they're buying. Then people don't know the use cases and people don't understand what it's going to do in the future. So the point I'm trying to make is that the ETF might be a way to increase demand temporarily, but the education element, why it's important, educating people about what is good money, what is bad money, is important about blockchain technology, that is going to take precedence over everything else. And this is going to surprise you a lot, is that after talking to a few fund managers about mining, about proof of work, I realized that half of them don't even understand what proof of work is. And yet they're investing in projects that have different consensus mechanisms. And if they don't understand proof of work, how are they going to make that comparison? How are they going to push blockchain technology forward if they don't even understand what it is at its current point? So I really want to focus a bit more on the basics of how cryptocurrencies work. Now this is going to be crazy. I might just pull out a pen and paper and draw something. That might be fun. And honestly, if you're watching this video, you're a survivor. You have been through one of this worst emotionally feeling bear markets. And because you survived, because there is value, you see the long-term value in this. And I want to focus on topics that matter to you, whether it is what is a UTXO model, what are ZK snarks, how is that going to change, what the hell is Mimble Wimble? I was researching that a lot this week. So I will focus a few of the topics on this channel about existing technologies and on this industry, well, this whole blockchain topic as a whole. And I'd love to hear your opinions down below on what I should cover, what you are interested in. I want to end this video on Jack Ma. This is someone that we talked about a lot in cryptocurrencies. We always think that there's going to be an Alibaba partnership. If you look into Jack Ma's story and look into how he got so big, you'll find that his journey was not an easy one. He applied to Harvard Business School 10 times, and 10 out of 10 times he got rejected. In fact, he applied to KFC, and of the 24 applicants, 23 were accepted, and he was left out. So this guy couldn't even get into KFC. And why am I talking about this? Because I feel like that is what cryptocurrency is right now. It's a brand new idea that a lot of people still can't get their heads around to accept. Being in crypto now is like being with Jack Ma when he first started, when he had a crazy idea, crazy notion, and yet no one in the world would believe in him and his abilities. Harvard Business School didn't really care for his abilities and didn't trust him to accept him into his course. KFC didn't believe that he would be able to handle frying chicken, let alone run a company. And yet here he is today, running one of the biggest enterprises, Alibaba Group, that the world has ever seen. And that is how much difficulty we have to try. We're in crypto so early that it's not easy, that we have to go through these times and start educating people about why this is important, that we have a new form of value transfer that cannot be stopped, that cannot be debased, and that can provide a layer of trust where everyone can verify that this transaction has taken place. The same layer of trust that we have for Bitcoin can be extended to supply chain management to make sure that products are authentic and not counterfeit, to form a layer of decentralized trust, and even to do financial transactions without a third-party arbitrator. These are amazing technologies. So the next time someone asks you about your cryptocurrency adventure, don't focus on the price, but focus on the value it brings and on the technologies. And then through all this hardship, through all this education and understanding, then in the future, when the technology does go mainstream, we can start looking back and giving talks just like Jack Ma to millions of admiring followers to say, you know what? We were back there in 2018 when blockchain was starting to grow, and we helped it grow to what it is today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'd love to hear what your comments are below about the Bitcoin ETF. Do you think we need it? Do you think we need to do more? And how can we do more to educate? And what topics you are interested in? I'd love to hear that in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to click the little like button down below to like and support this channel. And of course, the subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.